Welcome to Digital Fitness Hub, a studio, a platform which is helping curate the best versions of human race across the globe. So I thank this opportunity which you are going to listen to on this medium, where we are going to talk on the topic of which the World Health Organization, which has decided for 2025, the theme they have decided is healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. So on this topic, I am going to talk the views of Digital Fitness Hub. And this is going to be a new beginning for the entire year of 2025. We will have a series of talks. But for this session, let's begin in understanding what do you really understand by healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. And today, I'm going to take you through a couple of minutes. I want to ask each one of you, when does a healthy beginning begin in reality? Does it begin at birth? Does it begin before birth? Or a healthy beginning can also begin at any point of time? Let's start this session into the theme that has been given by the World Health Organization, healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. So let me take your permission to share my screen here. The World Health Day, which is typically celebrated on 7th of April every year. And the theme this year again is World Health Day theme is healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. The theme speaks directly to the soul. Healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. When does a beginning truly begin? If you really go to ask yourself, when do you actually say that a beginning has happened? And this, if you have to dwell upon this, the beginning before the beginning. If you would have seen in history, in mythology, when did the beginning start? Be it with Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. When did Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj beginning actually started? If you have to see Thomas Edison, when did the beginning for Edison happen? Why am I talking about these great figures? Is because they changed the course of history, not only for themselves, not only for their community, but the entire human race. So when did the beginning for great people start? And this is what it's all about. Most people think maternal health begins when pregnancy tests turn positive. This is the common notion that people have. What if the real beginning is the decision to get married? Or even before that, when two people begin considering bringing a new life into this world. And this is what it's all about. For Bhagwan Shri Krishna as well, the beginning was with a lot of challenges. And this is what it's all about. The beginning started much before than you could have ever imagined. Even for Bhagwan Shri Krishna, the beginning was not so fruitful. But then, how do we take it up for a common person like you and me? And to zero down on this, we call this phenomena as a zero lag preparation, which means at Digital Fitness Hub, we believe on zero lag preparation. It is preparing your body, mind and spirit not at the time of need, but much in advance. It's not that you do it in just-in-time technique. You prepare yourself before the event happens. And well, if you are prepared, then trust me, you definitely can have a hopeful future. And on the contrary, if you are not prepared for an event, for something that can happen in life, in a journey called life itself, if you are not prepared, you will always be at the receiving end. So zero lag preparation is getting yourself well prepared much before time. Do we see young men and women preparing their emotional health before marriage? Definitely not. If you really go to see marriage itself as an institution, it is one of the important aspects of any person. It is a juncture where the male or the female, a man and a woman, should be much prepared before that. You prepare for your education, you prepare for your finances, you prepare for your future. But do you also prepare for your marriage? Is a question which needs to be asked in the society. Are couples ready to give up on certain aspects, maybe on alcohol, smoking, late night screen addiction for their marriage? And in case if you're going to plan for a marriage, Surely or certainly, in case if you are going to plan for your child, are you preparing for all that it's going to come along with your childbirth? What kinds of book you should be reading before becoming parents? Do you listen to each other? Or is it that nowadays in today's era of digitization, you're only listening to reels and the digital medium? And even if you're listening to the digital medium, just like the way you would be listening on this session, is it worthwhile that if you're listening to the right content? A child doesn't inherit genes. A child inherits the lifestyle and emotional blueprint of the parents. Now again, if you go to check out on history, be it Steve Jobs, who did not have a great childbirth, he did not have a great childhood, but then too he went on to become one of the greatest persons who could change the course of technology itself. All these questions, if you really go to see, when does the beginning start? Does it start well before the beginning itself? Is a question that you should be asking yourself. Taking it to the next step to understand the beginning, from fitness to fertility. Since the theme here decided by the World Health Organization is for the healthy beginnings and hopeful futures, they are talking about maternal health and new child born. I'm going to start my discussions from here itself. When you talk about maternal health and a newborn child, where does the beginning start? From your fertility, or does it start from much before that? Fertility is a ritual. We at Digital Fitness have believed that your fertility, your quality of your offsprings, your quality of your newborn child will depend on the quality of both of the parents. The quality of the father, the quality of the mother, the mindset, the health, and that itself takes us down to a deeper notion of what actually fitness is all about. Fitness is about your physicality. It has to be about your mental, emotional and spiritual journey, which at Digital Fitness Hub, we call it as the SPEM pillars, which is spiritual grounding. You should be grounded on your spirituality. You should know your purpose of your existence, which also takes you closer to understanding the daily gratitude, maintaining silence on a regular basis, going inside your own self and understanding why you were born in the first place before you take the first step of having a new life which is going to be born. 99% of the time, nowadays, if you look around yourself and even if you ask your own self, why were you born in the first place? Are you clear of your birth? Do you have a purpose in your life? And if not, if you are going to make your child come into existence with birth without you having a clarity, you will only be getting a new life without great clarity for himself or herself. Having your physical readiness. What does it mean? If you're going to plan your marriage, if you're going to plan your life, where you're going to plan your next in line, which is you're going to plan your children, you should have the right physical health in the first place. This is not a joke. Ask a parent whose child was not born healthy. Ask a parent whose child was born with some challenges. Throughout the life, it's going to make the life of the child as well as of the parent very difficult. That's the reason it's very important that you have the right physical composition. Your body should be ready with the right strength, the agility, flexibility to deliver a new life in the best possible ways. And that will only happen when you are made up of the right content. Are you emotionally made up of the right maturity? Are you emotionally ready to bring a new life into this existence? Emotional stability again is one of the virtues where, just like in Three Idiots, it's been told you can quantify yourself on your physicality, you can quantify yourself on your aspects on how your composition is made up of. medical advancements has it made it possible. But what medical advancement and technology has not got into picture is, are you emotionally sound to bring a new life into existence? And the right emotional health can be made up with certain rituals like reading the right content, writing down, journaling, cleansing toxicity. Emotional health is all about getting yourself in a state of calm. And it's not an easy task here. Mental clarity is the fourth pillar. Even mental health. Are you overly stressed? Are you having huge aspirations? Are you ready to take the new life and the responsibilities that it's going to come upon? Are you ready to have that mental strength to give your child a space where you are going to have in your 24 hours, you will have to be taking care of the newborn and shaping the future of the newborn to certain extent. Do you have that mental resilience, mental strength is the question all about. Speaking about when couple practice these, their ability to nurture life improves. Their chances, the chances of passing on the natural strength to the newborn amplifies. Conception increases, their emotional resilience becomes stronger. When you are physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually grounded and strong, your chances of delivering a healthy offspring, a healthy life multiplies. On the contrary, it's your responsibility in case if you are not balanced on any of the four pillars. Mind you, the next generation, your children are going to inherit whatever shortcomings you have, they will be most probably transferred to your children. Speaking about this, Seneca once said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and most fear around childbirth, marriage, parenthood is driven by cultural noise, not biological wisdom. So fitness plays an important role when we are talking about healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. You have to ensure that both the couples who are going to marry or who are going to start a new life are fit in all the four pillars: physical, mental, emotional and spiritual. Then comes about technology. Since we are into an era where technology is, whether you like it or you don't like it, technology is a part and parcel of every individual. Technology and the new normal. When we are talking about technology, has technology made life better, or has technology made people take for granted simple things of life? Let's pause and reflect this. With more than 50% of C-section births in urban India today, are we choosing comfort over code? When I talk about C-sections, most of the couples, especially women, if you see, do not have the right strength to deliver a normal pregnancy. Could be because of having over excess weight, do not having the right pelvic strength and the mindset to have a normal pregnancy. Apart from that, many a times it's been chosen to have a C-section over normal pregnancy is the choice young women and males and as parents, they choose a normal pregnancy, they choose C-section over normal pregnancy, which again defies the normal code of behavior of nature. Nature intended childbirth to be intense. While normal pregnancy, it makes sure both the mother and the child go through a process of a little bit of pain. This pain was with an intent to make both the mother, the father and the child ready for the new life. At the first instance itself, while it might be painful for the mother to go through the C-section, comparatively through a normal pregnancy, it is against the natural code of behavior. C-section should have been used only in adversities. My contention here is not to challenge C-section, but instead of making a new normal, why don't we again pause and see why are there a rise in C-section in the society as against natural births. Check for your own self, around your own people, how many of the times there are normal deliveries of babies as compared to C-sections. While we are doing this, we again are bypassing the normal code of behavior of nature. Lao Tzu said, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Today's babies are exposed to excess of comfort, excess of gadgets, excess of packaging, excess of pampering, and what they truly need is a simple grounding. We must ask ourselves, are we designing emotionally resilient humans or just convenient outcomes? In ancient times, deliveries used to happen at homes. Today, with the medical advancements also happening, what is it that we are going towards? It's a simple question to be asked with healthy beginnings and hopeful futures. Next that we can talk about is the invisible health, mental and emotional DNA. When we talk about maternal health also means mother's mindset. When we talk about mother's mindset, a mother who is anxious during pregnancy may pass on fear-based patterns to the child. A father who is unavailable emotionally, physically, mentally leaves a gap the child may spend a lifetime trying to fill for. So mental health also means not only for the mother but also for the father to have the right mental health during pregnancy, much before that as well. When you get married and when you're going to plan for your children, both the parents need to be mentally sound. They should have the agility, they should have the resilience power, they should have the time to invest for the newborn baby to come. Again, the great emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, said that what we do now echoes in eternity. And that's what it's all about. Let's not build a future on broken emotional grounds. Let us build on certain aspects where we build something emotionally strong. When we are talking about the emotional and mental health, again, my dear friends, we are talking here about something really grounding. If you see any of the person who shaped the history of mankind, the birth and before birth time was very essential and very critical. It was either through a lot of challenging times that a strong person evolved. No person evolved with a normal life. Even for Gautam Buddha, who had a luxurious life, he chose a path which was simple, which was difficult. He gave away all that life had to offer, the comforts, only to ensure that he could understand what it means to have a healthy beginning and to change the future of mankind itself. What can society do for this? This is not just personal responsibility of an individual, it's a societal awakening, which takes us to, can workplace offer pre-conception counseling? Can schools educate teens about fertility long-term investment? Can we get these talks at an early age to make sure that we make our youngsters at school itself aware that fitness, taking care of your own self is the first responsibility. If you cannot take care of your own self, if you cannot take care of your body, mind and soul, you cannot take care of the newborn child. And you will never have hopeful futures, my dear friend. The person who cannot take care of him or of one own self cannot take care of anyone else. Can families support couple in building health first before rushing to have children? How many times have you seen parents, once a person comes to an age of marriage, again this is debatable, once a person becomes adult, parents want their children to get married faster. Are you bothered even whether your own children are in the right spaces to have their future offsprings? This is what you should be asking in this juncture. And with this, I would like to come to this last aspect of this beginning of the session is the womb is a workshop. The womb itself is a biological space, it's a spiritual space, it's a space where life will be shaped much before even you can think of. Very evident about Abhimanyu into Mahabharata, which has been told. He learned the art of Chakravyuh when he was in the womb of his mother. It's not something mythological, it is proven by science. Whatever the mother, the father, the environment has it around, the new unborn child will grasp it much before he or she comes into existence. It happens in the womb. A newborn child is not just a life, but a legacy of choices made years before. And who does these choices? It's the choice that you, me, every individual has to make it on a conscious and subconscious level. If we want hopeful futures, we must start with deeply aware beginnings. If you want to change the society, if you want to change the course of a nation, that has to happen well much before time. With the right thought processes, which a deep thinking, where do you start these changes to happen? Let this World Health Day not end with awareness, but begin with action. Let's breathe better, move better, love better, so we can leave behind not just children, but conscious citizens of a world. If you want to change the world, the change has to begin with you, my dear friends. With this, I would like to bring it into this forum. Where do you think healthy beginnings and hopeful futures start? This is a question you need to ask yourself and the people around you. Are you aligned in taking care? It's not a rocket science. It's simple, I'm telling you here. Simplicity begins with changing your own self first. But in today's world, everybody wants a change. They want the nation to change. You want India to be a superpower. You want India to be a clean and spick and span environment country. Where does this happen? It happens with changing yourself. You cannot expect a change without you being the change. And if you want to change, the change has to come from within. Understanding that the 4 pillars need to be changed of your own existence. You need to show up in your right physicality, having the right physical form. You should not have excess weight. You should not have ailments. You are not supposed to have any of the medical challenges in case if you were not born with those. In case you had a perfect birth, and in case today you have your lifestyle disorders, could be diabetes, could be overweight, could be high blood pressure, anything that is there in your life, in your family, these are lifestyle disorders. You are not born with these shortcomings. You have attracted this in your own life. And this needs to be changed. A mental health, how much do you use your brains to make the changes within your own self? Do you have the strength to say no time and again to the wrong things? Be it with diet, be it what goes into your mind. Do you have the conviction, the strength, the mobility, the agility, the flexibility to say a simple no to the wrong things? Are you emotionally grounded? You cannot be happy throughout, but very well you can train your mind to use everything that's going around to keep yourself in a state of calm. Make the changes on your emotions first, then expect the world to change. And what about spirituality? It's not about any religion. No shadow of doubt, every religion has spelled out in different verses the same thing. When we talk about spirituality, it's about understanding the purpose of your existence. Just 1% or maybe less than a percent of the world's population knows why rather you were born as a human. Look around yourself. The world does not require a human, but every human requires the world, which rather I would rephrase it. Nature doesn't require humans to be there to have a balancing act, but every human requires nature to have the proper balancing. But we are the species who are not only making survival for every human, but every other species difficult. While we are talking on this World Health Day, healthy beginnings and hopeful futures, it's a deep-rooted conversation that will go on and echo, just like Marcus Aurelius said, whatever you do today echoes in eternity. Whatever changes you want to do today in this moment is going to echo in eternity. This session maybe might appear simple, but it will echo in eternity a small question that I'm going to ask each one of you. Are you aligned on all the 4 pillars of your life? Are you physically grounded? Are you physically strong? Are you mentally resilient? Are your emotions at always calm? Do you know the purpose of your life? Maybe once if you start finding the right answers to these 4 pillars, a healthy beginning will start to happen in your life. A healthy beginning will start to happen in your family. A healthy beginning will start to happen in your society, in your environment, in your small town. And then, and only then, you can hope to have a beautiful future. Not only for your human race, but for every living species on planet Earth. It's my responsibility, it's your responsibility, and I promise to take my responsibility today. Forget about anyone else. I'm not responsible for anyone else except myself first. Let me take the onus of being a responsible living being. Let me change myself. Let me understand life properly. Let me understand peace, love, affection. Let me spread this message within first, so that I can bring about this change in my environment. Today, as I conclude this talk, or rather, I would sow the seeds into your minds to think for yourself. How do you want to make the changes in your own self? Once if you understand the message that I'm trying to deliver here, you can join hands with each other and make a chain reaction to bring these changes at least with a couple of people around you. When we can say that the theme earmarked by World Health Organization for healthy beginnings and hopeful futures can have a right direction. In 2025, let's make it a promise that by the end of 2025, we will at least few of us will have answers to this in the right perspective. If you are willing to do so, please type into the messages, get in touch with us, let's hold our hands and make healthy beginnings, and then we can expect a hopeful future. This is Harshad, founder of Digital Fitness Hub, on a platform which is trying to make changes to our own self first and the environment and the environment where you're living into. Thank you so much. I would like to hear from each one of you. Please stay tuned for future talks that are going to happen on the same theme, and we'll make sure we certainly have hopeful futures with changing the beginnings at the right places. I'll see you, and thank you so much.